Hi guys, in today's video, we would discuss about whether it is must for a data science fresher to become expert in deep learning before starting their career as a data scientist. Because I have seen that in last few years, many people are trying to learn data science and machine learning. And one of the complex topics within machine learning is deep learning models. Now what happens is sometimes people think that they have to become expert in deep learning before they start job applications or before they start working as a data scientist. So there is a lot of confusion around this. So I want to give you clarity regarding whether it is must to become expert in deep learning before you start your career as a data scientist. Let's get started. Let's say that you are a fresher and you are trying to build your career into data science. You are looking for internships or full-time opportunities in data science. Then for you, if you see the job opportunities, there are very few job opportunities which require you to be expert in deep learning. So deep learning expertise is not required for all the job roles within data science. For you as a fresher, the important skill sets are Python programming, then knowledge of machine learning models like linear regression, logistic regression, decision trees, random forest, XGBoost. Those kind of models are very important. Then when it comes down to unsupervised learning, you should be able to answer questions around k-means clustering, agglomerative clustering, DB-scan clustering. What I have seen that people sometimes they get really focused or they get really obsessed that they have to know everything. And in doing that, they end up focusing a lot on complex topics, which they struggle to understand. And at the same time, they completely forget to focus on important topics like statistics, Python, machine learning models like random forest and XGBoost. So if you're not able to answer the questions around these basic machine learning models, then you won't be able to get a job in data science or an internship in data science. So please understand that. While deep learning is important while working as a data scientist, it is not a critical skill set. Even without knowing deep learning, there are a lot of business problems which you can solve as a data scientist. When it comes to deep learning, the important topics within deep learning are neural networks, LSTM, and now generative AI as well. Now, deep learning is mostly useful when you want to apply classification kind of task on image data. Now, even within that, there are a lot of pre-trained models which are available. For example, YOLO model, which you can directly use for doing image classification. Then deep learning models are useful on the text data. For example, when you want to build text classification model and you want to create features out of it using word-to-vec model. So even there is a use of a deep learning within the word-to-vec architecture. But even in that, even if you don't understand deep learning completely in depth, you are still able to use those word-to-vec models. Then for solving those classification tasks on the text data, you can still use TF-IDF features, which are not even dependent on deep learning. So the point that I want to make over here is deep learning models are useful in certain kind of problems, and even those problems can be solved using alternate methods as well. So it is good to have knowledge about deep learning models, but at the same time, please don't have any fear in your mind that I don't know deep learning. Can I become a data scientist? Or don't think that it is not possible to become a data scientist without knowing deep learning. I want all of you to get this clear, specifically if you are a fresher in data science. Now, as you start building your career into data science, as you get into experience kind of roles, then people would definitely expect you to have good knowledge about the deep learning models as well. But if you are a fresher, if you are just passed out of your college and you're trying to find your first opportunity in data science, don't get obsessed to become expert in deep learning. Now, when it comes down to finding internship or full-time job in data science, you would get a lot of questions during the interview around the Python programming, then questions around statistics, exploratory data analysis, then fundamental questions around machine learning models like their cost functions, how they are optimized, how they are evaluated. So first of all, try to get expert in these topics. After that, you start focusing on deep learning. So this is how you have to prioritize your time. Try to get expert first in Python, statistics, and basic machine learning models, and then you focus on becoming expert in deep learning. Then, when it comes down to choosing between becoming expert in deep learning or trying to explore generative AI models and trying to build some applications or chatbots using generative AI, considering today's market trend, I think that personally, if you become expert or if you invest some time in understanding generative AI or if you build a couple of projects using generative AI, that has a bigger advantage in the market as compared to the traditional deep learning models. Specifically, if you are a fresher, if you are trying to get a job as a data science fresher or you're trying to get an internship. So you have to focus on the topic strategically So first of all, try to get expert with the basic topics which you have to answer during the interview, and then you focus your time on deep learning. This would be my suggestion. Now, once you are expert in the basic topics, then definitely start focusing on deep learning as well. In deep learning, during the interview, you would get questions around, for example, how the backpropagation algorithm works, which are the different activation functions, what is vanishing gradient problem, what is exploding gradient problem. So you should be able to answer all those questions. Then when it comes down to time series data, why LSTM models are preferred as compared to the traditional machine learning models? What's the kind of advantage which is there in LSTM models? Then when it comes down to image classification tasks, what is the advantage with convolutional neural networks? So these are 3 to 4 important topics within deep learning. So you can focus on those topics after you expertise on the basic topics which I have already told you around Python, stats and machine learning. Now, if you want to build your expertise within deep learning, my recommendation to you is you can explore libraries like Keras, TensorFlow, and start building some machine learning models using deep learning. So for example, even if you're working on a traditional classification task, you can solve that task using neural networks or deep learning. So try to build a classification model using Keras, evaluate that model, see what kind of performance you are getting using deep learning, and then compare that model by building that model or solving that problem using traditional machine learning models like random forest and XGBoost, and see what kind of performance you get. Now, even when you work as a data scientist in the industry, there would be very few problem statements where you have to apply deep learning, because there are so many business problems which can be solved using traditional machine learning models. For applying deep learning, you really need to have a huge amount of data. You need to have a right kind of infrastructure to train the models, and you also need to have a stakeholder buy-in. Your stakeholders should be supportive of training deep learning models. Because one of the challenge with neural networks or deep learning models is less interpretability as compared to the traditional machine learning models. So you are going to use deep learning in very few problem statements as compared to the traditional machine learning models. So it is very important to become expert in those traditional models. Then in deep learning, definitely work on at least one project of image classification by training your own machine learning model, or you can use pre-trained models like YOLO model or BGG16 model. Just extract features using those models, and then on top of that, you can build a neural network model, or you can build a traditional machine learning model as well for image classification. So this is how I want all of you to focus on deep learning. So first of all, focus on the basic topics, focus on the traditional machine learning models. And once you are comfortable with those, then try to become expert in deep learning and generative AI. This is how, if you focus your time, it would definitely help you to get your first opportunity in data science and machine learning. So even if you are not yet expert in deep learning, don't worry. Still, you can start applying for jobs and internships within machine learning and data science. Thanks for watching this video, guys, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.